19 unbelievable things Camilla did after Princess Diana's death that no one expected. After Princess Diana's tragic death, the last thing anyone expected was for Camilla to make her way into the heart of the royal family. But that's exactly what happened. Her moves were bold, fast, and left everyone, even the royals, completely stunned. Just 2 years after Princess Diana was gone, Camilla went from being the hidden mistress to appearing openly by King Charles' side at public events. She was suddenly present at family gatherings, moving into royal spaces that once belonged to Princess Diana. Camilla didn't stop there. She even secured support from the Queen herself. So how did Camilla pull it off? And what were the steps that changed everything in the royal family? Let's uncover the facts that show just how she shifted her role from the background to front and center. Number 1. Moved into Clarence House. Camilla's move into Clarence House marked the beginning of a new era. For years, Clarence House had served as a key royal residence, known for hosting dignitaries, political leaders, and members of the royal family. After Princess Diana's passing, the public would have expected it to remain a place of mourning or royal history. But Camilla's arrival there signaled something different. She was no longer content to remain in the shadows. This was more than just a new address. It was a statement. Moving into Clarence House aligned her closely with King Charles' royal responsibilities and, by extension, with the monarchy. People were stunned to see her stepping so boldly into Princess Diana's former sphere. For the royals and the British public, this wasn't a simple relocation. It was a shocking claim to legitimacy. Camilla was preparing herself not only as King Charles' partner, but as someone who intended to become part of royal life, hinting at the influence she would soon wield. Number 2. Attend King Charles events publicly. Before Princess Diana's death, Camilla and King Charles' relationship had been largely hidden from the public eye, and most people viewed it as an affair best left to private whispers. However, after Princess Diana was gone, Camilla surprised everyone by attending events publicly with King Charles. Her role no longer kept in the dark. This was not only a new chapter in their relationship, but a bold step that went against the public's sensitivities. By appearing side by side with King Charles, Camilla openly defied the controversy that had once surrounded their relationship. This visibility put a spotlight on her, allowing her to be seen not as a background figure, but as someone integral to King Charles' life and happiness. The public was taken aback. It felt as if Camilla was stepping directly into Princess Diana's place, and reactions were mixed. It was a daring move that demonstrated her readiness to confront public opinion and pave her own path within royal circles. Number 3. First public appearance together. Their first official public appearance as a couple came just 2 years after Princess Diana's death, a timeline many found surprising and even shocking. This moment was not only significant for King Charles and Camilla, but also for the monarchy itself, as it had to contend with how to present this relationship to the public that still held Princess Diana's memory close. They appeared at a birthday party for Camilla's sister in 1999, a low-key event compared to royal standards, but monumental in meaning. By stepping out together, they were making a statement that their relationship was here to stay, and they would no longer hide from the press or public judgment. For the royals, it was a delicate balance as they knew they were risking public backlash. However, Camilla's courage to make this public debut showed her willingness to step into a controversial role, one that had previously been reserved only for Princess Diana. Number 4. Spent holidays with King Charles. For Camilla to join King Charles at Balmoral, a cherished royal retreat, was significant. Balmoral had been a place where Princess Diana and King Charles spent family time with their children, and it was filled with memories of Princess Diana's presence. By spending holidays there with King Charles, Camilla didn't just intrude upon royal tradition. She brought a new and unexpected energy to the place. The media captured this with curiosity and criticism, as it seemed like Camilla was attempting to become part of the family's inner life in a way that echoed Princess Diana's own roles. Balmoral was a place where the royals relaxed and were themselves, and Camilla's presence was no small matter. She was becoming a part of their personal traditions, subtly establishing her importance in King Charles' life. It raised questions among the public about her intentions and her future in the family. This was Camilla's way of showing that she wasn't just a visitor. She was here to stay. Number 5. Attended royal family gatherings. Once merely a background figure, Camilla began attending intimate royal family gatherings, marking her steady acceptance by the family. For an outsider, especially one seen as a controversial figure, to be part of these private events meant more than just an invitation. It was an acknowledgement of her as King Charles' partner and a quiet nod to her potential future role. Family gatherings were sacred moments for the royals, time to share and bond without the press or public. Camilla's presence in these settings revealed that she was no longer just King Charles' companion, but a figure the family was learning to embrace, even if cautiously. Her inclusion at these gatherings also served as a symbol to the public, indicating that the royals, perhaps slowly, were willing to turn a new page. For Camilla, attending these gatherings was a small but strategic step in becoming part of the royal inner circle. Number 6. Introduced to Prince William and Prince Harry. Being introduced to Princess Diana's sons, William and Harry, was one of the most sensitive and carefully planned moves in Camilla's journey. Princess Diana's memory was deeply cherished by her sons, and meeting Camilla, the woman often blamed for the breakdown of their parents' marriage, was no small task. For William and Harry, this was likely an emotional and difficult encounter. Camilla, knowing the delicacy of the situation, approached it cautiously, aware of the tensions. This introduction was a pivotal moment for all involved. For the public, it was another shock, as they questioned how the young princes would handle seeing Camilla with their father. Camilla's willingness to meet Princess Diana's children head-on displayed a resilience and understanding of her position in King Charles' life. It marked her commitment to King Charles and her acceptance of the complicated dynamics within the family. Number 7. Changed public perception. Camilla's efforts to reshape her image following Princess Diana's death weren't accidental. She quietly but deliberately engaged in charity work, connecting with causes that painted her in a different, more compassionate light. She was no longer just seen as the other woman, but as someone committed to making a difference, a shift that allowed the public to see her with new eyes. She collaborated with organizations tackling issues such as domestic violence, health and education, positioning herself as a figure of empathy. Slowly, the narrative began to change. Camilla's dedication to these causes signaled that she was more than just a controversial figure in a love triangle. She was someone with a voice and commitment to service. The public began to soften their stance, recognizing her contributions and perhaps her genuine love for King Charles. This shift in perception played a significant role in Camilla's acceptance by both the public and the royal family. Number 8. Appointed personal security. Camilla receiving personal security was a bold move, one that reflected her growing importance within the royal fold. Personal security details are typically reserved for members of the royal family and are a clear signal of someone's official status. By granting Camilla this protection, the royals were communicating that she was a valued and protected member of the monarchy. It was a message to the public that Camilla's position was not a temporary arrangement. She was here to stay. This decision also served as a protective measure, given the mixed feelings the public had towards her at the time. For Camilla, having security allowed her to move freely, attend events, and carry out her activities with a certain level of comfort and legitimacy. It demonstrated that while not officially married to King Charles, she was as much a part of his life as any member of the royal family. Number 9. Stayed at Sandringham House. Sandringham House is another royal residence deeply embedded in tradition, known for hosting the family during Christmas and other private gatherings. This was a place where Princess Diana had spent numerous holidays, and the public still associated it with her memory. Camilla's presence at Sandringham was a significant and personal step. She wasn't just an occasional guest, but someone King Charles valued enough to share this family space with. Her stay at Sandringham quietly shifted the dynamic, indicating that she was more than a companion. For the royal family and public, seeing her occupy spaces once associated with Princess Diana was another shocking reminder that Camilla was increasingly becoming a fixture in royal life. This move suggested that she was willing to navigate the emotional territory of Princess Diana's legacy, integrating herself in ways that might have once seemed unthinkable. It was a quiet but profound step, embedding her more deeply into royal tradition and family life. Number 10. Lived under the same roof as King Charles. In an unprecedented move, Camilla began living with King Charles, marking a bold step toward her acceptance in his life and, by extension, the royal family. For a royal couple to cohabit without marriage was unconventional and, at the time, considered controversial. This was a clear departure from the standards of royal propriety, yet it happened with little resistance, suggesting that both King Charles and Camilla were prepared to embrace a modern approach, regardless of public opinion. Living under the same roof was a practical choice for them, but it also symbolized Camilla's growing place in King Charles' life. The public had to come to terms with this reality, seeing the two together more frequently and in a much more candid way than they'd ever had with Princess Diana. This arrangement spoke volumes, indicating that their relationship wasn't simply for the public eye. It was a genuine, committed partnership that was unfolding within royal spaces. Number 11. Made public appearances with King Charles' family. As Camilla began appearing with King Charles' siblings and other family members at public events, the public couldn't ignore the shift happening within the royal family. This wasn't a series of chance encounters. It was a coordinated effort to show Camilla as part of King Charles' life and, by association, as someone embraced by his family. Camilla's presence in family settings, events, ceremonies, and gatherings served as an unspoken endorsement from the royal family. Her inclusion in family photos or appearances alongside King Charles' siblings subtly conveyed her acceptance, even if the public wasn't entirely ready for it. It was an attempt to normalize her role and show that the family, despite the controversial history, was willing to integrate her. For Camilla, it was another step in the journey to establish her place, not just as King Charles' partner, but as a member of the royal family in her own right. Number 12. Exclusive media interviews. Camilla's choice to give exclusive interviews marked a major turning point in reshaping her public image. The media had historically painted her in a negative light, casting her as a scandalous figure. By granting selected interviews, Camilla took control of the narrative, offering the public a chance to see her in a new light. These interviews allowed her to express her perspective and humanize herself, sharing parts of her life story, passions, and relationship with King Charles that the public hadn't previously seen. Her approach was careful and strategic. She avoided topics that could reignite controversies while focusing on her charitable efforts and personal growth. Through these exclusive interactions, Camilla demonstrated a level of vulnerability and sincerity that helped soften public perception. Slowly, the portrayal of Camilla in the press began to change, with the interviews providing a glimpse into her as a person rather than a mere figure in royal controversies. Number 13. Attended royal functions. Camilla's presence at royal functions initially took the public by surprise, as many were used to seeing her as an outsider. However, over time, her regular attendance at these events helped normalize her role within the family. These weren't just grand ceremonies, but significant moments of royal tradition, gatherings that symbolized the unity and continuity of the monarchy. By including Camilla, the family sent a message of acceptance, signaling that she was a respected figure within their ranks. For the public, her attendance at these events was a reminder that she wasn't a temporary presence in King Charles' life. She was now part of the fabric of royal duty and responsibility. Camilla's participation in these functions showed that she was committed to supporting King Charles in his royal role and serving the monarchy, a move that helped the public begin to view her as a legitimate partner within the royal establishment. Number 14. Made a high-profile appearance at King Charles' birthday. One of the most notable appearances Camilla made was at King Charles' birthday celebration, a highly public and symbolic event. Standing beside King Charles as he celebrated a milestone in his life sent a strong message to both the royal family and the public. This wasn't just any event. It was a family gathering that marked an important occasion for King Charles' life, and Camilla's presence highlighted her importance to him. For many, this public declaration was a turning point. It showed that King Charles was not only committed to Camilla privately, but willing to have her acknowledged as a fundamental part of his life by those closest to him. It was a moment where the lines between private and public were blurred, with Camilla firmly by his side in a setting full of royal significance. This appearance conveyed that. In the years since Princess Diana's passing, she'd gradually yet successfully become an undeniable figure in his life. Number 15. Accompanied King Charles on official trips. Camilla's accompaniment of King Charles on official trips marked a substantial step in her integration into royal duties. These trips are traditionally reserved for official partners of the royal family, and her presence was a clear indication of her deepening role. Official trips are not just about representing the monarchy, but are also a symbol of partnership and support within royal duties. By joining King Charles on these journeys, Camilla was making her role undeniable, stepping into the spotlight not just as a background figure, but as an active participant. Her presence on these trips also allowed the public to see her dedication to King Charles' life's work and her willingness to serve alongside him. The public watched as she began to engage with dignitaries, meet with communities, and support causes. Her participation in these official functions helped solidify her place and demonstrated that she was more than just King Charles' companion. She was a partner in his royal responsibilities. Number 16. Hosted charity events. A turning point in Camilla's acceptance by the public came through her involvement in charity work, particularly in hosting events for causes close to her heart. By championing initiatives focused on issues like domestic violence, health, and education, Camilla was aligning herself with the royal family's long-standing tradition of philanthropy. Hosting these events allowed her to reshape her public image from that of a controversial figure to someone deeply committed to making a difference. The causes she chose were close to her personally, and her involvement showed a side of her that wasn't previously known. As she consistently supported these charities, her image as a compassionate and dedicated individual gained traction. Through her charity work, Camilla was able to connect with the public on a more personal level, showing that she too was a person with empathy and values. These events became a way for her to carve out her role independently of King Charles, earning respect on her own merits. Number 17. Changed her personal style. Camilla's transformation wasn't just about actions. It was also a visual change. She began to refine her personal style, dressing in a way that aligned more with royal expectations and traditions. This shift wasn't only about appearances, but a signal to the public and the royal family that she was serious about her role. With the help of stylists, Camilla embraced a more polished, sophisticated look, adapting her wardrobe to fit her growing presence in official settings. This change helped the public see her in a new light, as someone who respected royal traditions and was willing to evolve. It also demonstrated her awareness of the scrutiny she was under and her understanding of the importance of public perception. Through her updated style, Camilla was not only fitting into royal circles, but also subtly redefining her identity, signaling that she was prepared to take on a more prominent role with dignity and grace. Number 18. Met the Queen at a private dinner. One of the most pivotal moments in Camilla's integration into the royal family was her private dinner with Queen Elizabeth. For years, the Queen had remained silent on King Charles and Camilla's relationship, creating speculation about her feelings toward it. A private dinner wasn't just a meal. It was a powerful symbolic gesture. This meeting signaled the Queen's tacit approval of Camilla's role in King Charles' life and her potential place within the family. For the public and the press, this was a major turning point. Camilla was no longer just tolerated. She was beginning to be accepted, even by the monarch herself. This dinner provided an opportunity for the Queen and Camilla to communicate directly, and for Camilla, it was a significant step toward legitimizing her presence within the monarchy. It was a delicate, yet monumental moment, a sign that even the highest level of the family was willing to move forward. Number 19. Married King Charles in 2005. The culmination of Camilla's journey within the royal family came when she and King Charles married in 2005. This marriage wasn't just a personal commitment, but a historic moment, one that signaled the royal family's official acceptance of Camilla as King Charles' wife and a member of the monarchy. Their wedding was a quieter affair compared to the grand ceremonies typical of royal unions, a reflection of their complicated past and respect for Princess Diana's memory. However, the significance of the event was undeniable. For King Charles, marrying Camilla was the realization of a relationship he'd cherished for decades, while for Camilla, it was the final step in a journey from outsider to royal. The marriage marked the end of an era for controversy and the beginning of a new chapter. By officially joining the royal family, Camilla completed her transformation, and the public, as well as the royals, could no longer ignore her place within the monarchy. From public appearances to her eventual marriage to King Charles, these moves weren't just surprising. Her moves after Princess Diana's death were bold, strategic, and to many, completely unexpected. What do you think was the most surprising move Camilla made during this time? Do you believe her actions were calculated or simply driven by her commitment to King Charles? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more interesting video content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.